3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Warbird Wednesday. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum in a very warm Palm Springs. We set a record the other day. It is hot. We are pretty cool in the hangar. Jason actually brought me a fan. We're upping our production value. Of course, I am cooking like a burger in the sun. My querulous assistant, go ahead and get my, this is actually not bad, a burger hat. People ask, what do we do with the hats? We actually do school groups. We do about 5,200 kids school groups. We give the hats to the school groups, which are kind of fun, and the kids draw pictures of them, and they have all kinds of, so we make use of the hats. Somebody said we should sell them. I can't think of doing that, but we do. They all go to a good cause. The kids love them in our school groups. Now today we are continuing to talk about trainers, and we are talking about the big kahuna in terms of European trainers on the Allied side, and that is the Marine Saulnier, which I've probably butchered that big time. The MS-230, by the way, my French friends, you can tear me apart on the pronunciation. Now, the MS-230, this was the best way to describe it, the equivalent of a Stearman or a Tiger Moth to the RAF in that time frame. This aircraft, there were 1,000 of these things built. They were a fantastic sport flyer. They were incredibly stable, and nearly every French pilot flew the 230 before World War II, right before World War II. So you would be hard-pressed to find any French military pilot that didn't do their primary training in this aircraft. Absolutely amazing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and this is not a 230, but it is a high wing. This is actually an Otter, but I'll throw that up. Greg can throw up a plan view of the 230. Now, the interesting thing about the 230 is that high wing, it's a parasol wing. And in the edit, I would ask Greg to throw up a cutaway or a demonstration of a parasol wing.
Parasol wing is one type of a monoplane configuration when the wing placed on struts high above the fuselage.
Very intricate structural members on that wing because there's so much loading in the way the struts are designed. It is if you screw it up, it's bad because the wing will fold up, and that will give you a very bad day, especially if you're trying to design a trainer. Now this thing, as I said, was incredibly docile in the air, and so much so that the French Air Force absolutely loved it. It did not have any combat capability whatsoever. To my knowledge, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the French Air Force never used these in combat. The Germans captured a whole bunch of them and reused them as squadron hacks and trainers. They used them as trainers. They flew them all over Europe, but they did not, I do not believe they ever were used in combat, unlike a lot of the trainers that we have talked about, because using them in combat, they're cheap, they're easy to fly, and now the downside is typically no armor. They were never designed for combat, and if you look at a later, like the T-28, for example, that was used in Laos, this is much later, not in World War II, but they got absolutely shot to pieces. Trainers typically did not make good crossover aircraft. You can argue with me in the comments, but generally they did not. And that leads me to my salute. And my salute today, my querulous assistant, is actually something a little broader, and that is I want you to think about, we talk about, we're very, and obviously because we're in the United States, American-centric, but the 230 is an excellent example of a fine, fine airplane that was designed. And today, what I want to talk about is all of those foreign aircraft designers, especially Allied designers, that moved the ball on aircraft design. This aircraft clearly moved the ball and never got any credit for it. And in the United States, we completely overlooked them. They just are not talked about. And I think that's rather sad. As I said, this particular airplane in Europe is very prolific, but you just don't see them in the United States. So with that, Jason, I am going to do this salute with the, I don't ever see these until the filming, so I'm a little in shock over this one. The hippo-sized beverage, the Colossal Cream. It's big in flavor. You can see it has, since 1927, calories 170, carbonated cane sugar. Everybody loves cane sugar. The California Capped Refund. Now, it is cold, unlike the horrific gruel that Jason gave me last week. That was probably one of the nastiest drinks I have ever experienced. So with that, we'll go ahead and pop the top. That's the deal. I do the beverage for the staff. That actually gave us a little bit of a puff or carbonation there, so it doesn't smell rancid, so that's actually good. So to all those Allied designers across the spectrum that moved the ball, created fantastic airplanes, and that I think a lot of times we kind of overlook because we're just so centric to the American aviation industry, I salute you. Now that's not bad. No poisoning incident this week. Jason's shaking his head. So to those designers, I'll give you one more sip. That's actually quite good, especially as warm as it has been. So after the war, this aircraft moved on. It became a sport airplane, flew all over like a lot of these military, and it was, because of the build count, it was prolific and it was very cheap. They were so prolific that they actually, one of them in 1967 was used as the camera ship for Darling Lily, the film, which is kind of cool. And then close to my heart, one of them was used as the Wunder airplane at the end of the Blue Max. Remember, at the end of the Blue Max, he comes out and they're going to show him, they know that the airplane is flawed, this parasol wing airplane, but they let him fly it anyways because basically they're trying to get rid of him. And he goes out and, what is it? Stachel is killed in the airplane at the end of the Blue Max. One of the best photographed aerial movies I have ever seen. If you haven't seen it, check it out. So a promotion for the Blue Max. Now, you could amaze your friends, wow the block, and let people know that you are the cutting edge apparel with this shirt right here. This is our P63 standing in front of it. Of course, this is its air race configuration there. You can see it. It flew in the air races, did really well. Air races are moving to Roswell. That was Patrick Nightingale. Now, Jason will draw one of these out in the back room and send it out to you. He will not draw it out. It is already printed, but he'll send it to you. So click on that link. This is a great shirt to have. Very, very rare airplane, and it's one that's really cool for our inventory. We're lucky to have it.
Between third and fourth, who's going to get it? Oh, all right. The P63 did it. Good show. Great show.
So get out there and click on that link for the P63. We cannot keep flying the P-63 without your donations. We need your help. So click on that link, send us a few bucks, a few shekels, a few marks, a few francs. There we go. We cover them all. We can surely use your donations. And if you came across us on YouTube or Facebook and you like one take kind of aircraft, Warbird aircraft videos, overview videos, we are your one-stop shop. Forward us to your friends. Give us a like. Give us a subscription if you're on YouTube, and give us a comment. We love your comments. This particular grouping of aircraft that we're going down now was suggested by a viewer. Give us some ideas on what you want us to cover. In all of our videos, down in that description link, we have a link for education guides. Click on those guides. They are free. You can learn all about the 230, or you could go ahead and do the entire continuum of aircraft. We've got everything from the very early airplanes, the Wright Flyers, all the way up to the modern stuff. Teach the kids at home. There's a lot of fun little things that they can do in there. So click on those education links. They are free. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.
Day, all my fears have gone away. I guess this means I'm here to stay. Yeah, I'm ready to fly, ready to fly. Wasn't long ago I shook at the thought of being hooked, but ever since I wrote my book, I'm ready to fly, ready to fly. Come along and join us, Rick and Pluggy in the simulator. We'll teach you how to dance and be